Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Hello everyone. My name is Abeera Saeed FreelancingWali and I am a level 1 student at Rehan School Islamabad campus. As you know, in our interview session, we invite inspiring personalities who are role models because of their hard work, courage and achievements. Today we are honored to have a very respected and amazing guest with us. Name is Pool Bone. Her name is Pulse Bound. So let's meet her and learn more about her life journey, experience, and success story. Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, hello. I hope you and all your dear ones are well.
How are you?
I am well, thank you. I'm happy to say that. I hope you also are well.
Okay, so my first question is this. Please introduce yourself for my audience.
Yes. Well, my name, as you know, is Paul Bowen. I'm 81 years old. I live in the United States in the state called Colorado, and I let's see. Well, I consider myself to be a philosopher. I have a degree in philosophy from Yale University, and but I am now retired. But I still carry on some philosophy on my Facebook page, which is just the page Paul Bowen. Well, no, it's not a technically it's not a page. It's just my site. That's all. So, and I am married and have two children, both grown, and I have one granddaughter. I guess that about covers it. That's my introduction.
Okay, sorry. So my next question is this. What does it mean to truthfully exit?
Ah, huh. Well, now that's a very interesting question. uh, I think existence is such a basic concept, it's very hard to define it. But I would say if you can influence other things that exist, then you exist. Uh, of course, that's a sort of circular thing since you have to know what existence means in order to know what it means to influence other things that exist. But I think maybe that's the best I can do because, as I say, it's such a fundamental concept that it's I- it's typically I could say if you have any qualities like being big or small or hot or cold, then you exist. If you relate to other things that exist, then you exist. Uh, I guess that's about the best I can do right on the spur of the moment. That's my answer.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is this. Can something exist without being observed?
Yes, I think so. I mean, I have often been unobserved. When I'm asleep and nobody's watching me, I still exist, I think, but I'm not watching me because I'm asleep. Somebody else is watching me. And when you turn this off, I'm not going to disappear. Uh, I hope, because I'm not, um, because nobody is watching me at that moment. I would hate to think that I have to be always watched. I mean, what about privacy? We should have some privacy, right? And so it would be a terrible choice that I have to be watched or I stop existing. So I guess that's the best I can say right offhand. That's a very interesting question, but interesting questions are answer. So that's my answer.
Okay, thank you. So, my next question is this: can anything be said to be objectively real?
Yes, I think so. I am what is called a realist amongst philosophers. Some philosophers are called realists, and uh, that's essentially what being a realist means. I think there are things that really exist, or they're objectively real, even though I myself might not know about them. The universe has many, many hydrogen atoms in it. It must be a huge number of hydrogen atoms in the universe. They're all objectively real, as far as I know. But we will never be able to say, oh, there's this one and there's that one, and that's all of them. There's just too many of them, and most of them are out there in outer space where we can never get at them. But there are some things that only exist because we think of them, uh, if I think what I am thinking now, okay, that only exists because I'm thinking it. But most things are not like that. I mean, this computer here, if I stop thinking about it, it's not going to disappear. Uh, so that's the sort of thing that is objectively real. Yes, that's my answer.
Okay, that's clear. Very interesting your answer. Thank you, Pul. So, my next question is time a human context a universe truth?
Ah, well, you ask wonderful questions. That's I do not think time is a human construct. I think there was time long before there were humans, right? There were dinosaurs running around, right? And there was no human to make the time come into existence at that time. And so now there are some physicists who are very far out who are kind of exploring the idea that time might be kind of an illusion. But I think that well, I remain unconvinced by any of this that I have seen. Uh, I I'm 81 years old. How is that possible if there is no real time? Uh, I think what time is something like this. Uh, if you imagine snapshots of the world, that is things that happen in, well, we would say happen in just one instance. There are various ways to put these in order. Infinite number of ways we could put these in order. And just thinking about them. Uh, but if we put them in a certain order, then we see that the universe runs on wonderful, beautiful, relatively simple laws. And if we put them in some other order, then it's a mess, as far as we know, right? So we can, in a way, define time in this way. So time is the way to put events in order that makes the most sense out of the world. Okay, and but this is something we have to discover. And in fact, Einstein says, well, time is much more complicated a thing than you thought. He doesn't say it doesn't exist, but I can't go into Einstein's theories here, I think. But what it shows is that we can change our ideas of time. We can have deeper insight into what time is. If time were just our construct, then once we made that construct, that would be it, right? We couldn't turn out to be wrong. If it was just a construct of ours, we could not be wrong about it, except if we make some dumb mistake. But but we can be wrong about it, and this is what Einstein showed, that we can be wrong about time. So for that reason, I think, although we construct theories of time, time itself is not uh, our construct. It's something we have to learn about. We have to discover, and maybe we'll never know everything about time. Okay, so that's my answer.
Okay, very inspiring and interesting answer, Pulbon. So my next question is this: do observe concept like justice and beauty independently?
Ah, well, now strictly speaking, if something is a concept, that's something in somebody's mind. So concepts don't uh, concepts don't exist independently of thinkers. Before there were human beings on this planet, there was no concept of calculus or any of these sophisticated concepts that we have. The dinosaurs didn't think about that, right? I presume. But uh, on the other hand, you maybe there's a closely related question: is whether justice and beauty exist independently. Not the concepts of justice and beauty, but justice and beauty themselves. And well, beauty is a tricky one, but I think that whenever we have a concept of something, it's possible that that concept is really of something. Now, over here we have the idea of Santa Claus who brings presents to children on Christmas, but most grown-ups believe that that's just a story we make up for children. So uh, are justice and beauty like that? We're talking about them, but maybe it's all a fiction. But I think there has to be something uh, something to these ideas. I think there is such a thing as beauty. It may be hard to understand what it is, but I see things and they're beautiful. I see other things and they're not beautiful. And they're never the same. I never see two objects. Here's one, and here's the other. And they're exactly alike, except one is beautiful, but the other is not. No, that's not possible. A painting is beautiful because the way the pigments are spread on the canvas. Okay? You can't just add beauty to something. It's already beautiful or not beautiful. And so I think if you bought a painting from a dealer and it looked beautiful to you, and then you found out that you had been under the influence of some drug that the dealer had given you that makes everything look beautiful, then you would say this guy cheated me. It's not really beautiful, right? So now the objection that's usually raised here is that people disagree about what is beautiful. But then people disagree about a lot of things. People have disagreed about the shape of the earth, but that doesn't mean that the earth has no shape at all. It just means that we need to work hard and find out what the shape really is. And and I think even though people find different things to be beautiful, I mean, one person says uh, the Taj Mahal is beautiful, and another person says no, it's not beautiful. And they're both being perfectly honest. Uh, but maybe what they're saying is one is saying this has beauty, and the other is saying that it does not have beauty. But there is such a thing as beauty. Okay. Otherwise, what are they saying? If we're talking about beauty and there is no such thing, then we're just babbling. But beauty is very important to people. I mean, that's part of a good life. is to have beauty in your life. So even when people are very poor, they grow flowers and decorate their homes. And so I'd say yes, there is such a thing as beauty which exists uh, independently, even though we disagree. Yeah, so I guess that's my answer to that.
Okay, that's great, Spoolbound. So my next question is this: can human ever know the truthfully completed?
Well, I don't think so, because here's an example. Uh, there are lots of things that I don't know right now. Maybe some of them I will know later. But I do not know what the things I don't know are. Okay. And I will never know what the things I don't know are. Right. So that's something I will always never know. But also, my brain is just too small. Right? I can never know there is everything to know. No, please. My
Okay,
brain just explode. Right? Uh,
okay, right.
so what I try to do is to know the most important truth, uh, and leave the rest for someone else if they want it. Uh, but I have to be. My brain is only so big. I'm sorry. That's my answer.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is this: are option subject or can they are objective?
Well, again, let's say I have an opinion. The fact that I have that opinion is objective, right? Either I have that opinion or I don't, right? So in that sense, opinions are objective. They're things in the world. They're processes in the world. Uh, but I think maybe the question is, uh, can we know objective truth? Okay. Or do I just have these opinions and they never become more than opinions? And I think, yes, I think we can know objective truth. At least we're entitled to be sure. Okay. For example, I think I'm entitled to be sure that I have two hands. There was a famous philosopher who used this example. I can't think of his name right offhand, but I know that I have two hands, right? I, that there's really not much point in my trying to cast doubt on that fact. Now you could say you might be hallucinating, you might be dreaming, but yes, that's true. Those things might be true, but they can also not be true. I mean, I could be not dreaming, and if I'm not dreaming, then I know that I have two hands. So although we are often mistaken, it is possible for us to be correct, and thereby have an opinion. That's true. I think there's a pretty good chance that my opinion that I have two hands, exactly two hands. I'm pretty sure that's true. Now you can argue with me, fine, we can have an argument, but I think I have a right to be sure uh, about this. So another very good question. Thank you, and that's my answer.
Okay, thank you so much, Bulbon. So my next question is this: does science provide the only reliable knowledge?
Uh, no, I don't think so. I mean, I have great respect for science, but um, well, for one thing, science is not perfectly reliable, right? Scientists change their minds. Okay, and Isaac Newton was once considered, he was practically treated like a god because he figured out the laws of mechanics. Uh, and what we now call Newtonian mechanics is named after him. But but now Einstein, that troublemaker, what a troublemaker he was. Right? He came in and he said, well, it's not it works well in certain circumstances, but there are other circumstances where Newtonian mechanics doesn't work. And so scientists change their minds. So how reliable is it? Well, reliability is a matter of degree. You can be a little bit reliable, or you can be really reliable. Right? And science is highly reliable. But I think the evidence of your senses is very reliable. If you see a computer in front of you, and you know that you haven't been eating weird things, or didn't just get hit on the head or something, you could say, "There's a computer in front of me," right? Uh, that's that's just seeing the computer is reliable evidence for there being a computer in front of you. But you don't have to be a scientist to know that. You don't have to be a scientist to know whether you're warm or cold. You don't have to be a scientist to know whether you're standing still or walking, right? So, and in fact, scientists depend on common sense in order to function. I mean, a scientist is in a laboratory. He's making an experiment. Well, if he doesn't have reliable knowledge about the world around him, how can he make the experiment? He won't. He'll be confused about where the equipment is. He'll be confused about what he sees. So I think science depends on the reliability of our everyday functioning. Now, sometimes you may have a mental problem or something that messes you up, but on the whole, I think we're entitled to rely on our everyday perception of the world. So that's my answer.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is this: can machine ever have confusionness?
Oh, that is another wonderful question. Thank you. In my opinion, they could, but I don't know that any of them do right now. Some of these machines, like large language models, they're very impressive. Talking to one of them is a lot like talking to a person. Uh, but I'm not sure that they are conscious. Now, now I'm not absolutely certain that they're not conscious, but I'm inclined to say that although it's possible for a machine to be conscious, uh, that the large language models like ChatGTP, I don't think that they are conscious. And of course, some of these things, if you ask, "Are you conscious?" they'll say yes. but but do they understand? Now, I think of ChatGTP. Now, I'm not an expert in these things, but you ask ChatGTP a question, and it goes and looks at stuff other people have said about those things, and then it kind of combines these and comes up with an answer. But you could do something like that. You're not as fast as a computer, but you could have a library, and then someone asks you a question, and then you could start looking through all the books. Right? But would you need to be conscious to do that? You could do it while you were sleepwalking. Uh, so I guess my answer there is, well, I don't know for sure whether computers are conscious right now. Maybe some of them are. Certainly, if you have a payroll program, it's chugging out everybody's salary. I don't think there's any reason to consider that to be conscious. It's just very, very fast. Not computers are much faster than human beings, and that can sometimes cause us to overestimate them. But suppose you took a beetle, a little insect, and you just speeded it up. So it was going 1,000 times as fast as it did before. Would it be smarter? No. So, in some ways, we used to say about computers, we have more respect for them now. But a few decades ago, we used to say about computers that they are idiots, but they are very fast idiots. So, uh, a large language model might just be impressive because it can do so much in such a short time. And the only things that we know that can do those things are other human beings. So we think, oh, it must be like us. So it's a difficult question, which, of course, all the wonderful questions are difficult. Who wants easy questions, right? So that would be my answer.
Okay, that's good. So, sir, please give me advice for audience.
You want me to give them my audience advice?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'll say right off the bat, don't take my advice too seriously because they don't know you. Um, but what I would say, my advice would be, is to learn and develop yourself. Learn things, hopefully important things, and develop yourself. So you use your hands. Like play the piano or some instrument. Uh, Read serious books and read literature too. You don't have to always be reading a textbook or something. And exercise, keep your body in shape, that sort of thing. You should use some of your energy to try to perfect yourself. I mean, you'll never be perfect, but maybe I shouldn't have said perfect, but uh, to strengthen yourself and to make yourself richer. Uh, and so, and then see what happens, because I don't know what will happen. But if you make yourself richer and more powerful, something good will probably happen, I think. Okay, so that would be my advice.
Okay, so sir, thank you for giving very precious time. So, viewers, this was our guest for today, Mr. Bowen. You are listening to her thoughts and learn about her achievement and success journey. I hope you are really enjoyed the interview. In the same way, I will meet you again with my next guest. Until then, please take care of yourself. Pakistan Zindabad. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
I didn't catch that